Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to Football Takeover. Welcome to technically not a new show, but I've called it the Under the Clock because it just makes more sense. We're going to be doing not just transfers, we'll be doing all sorts. I've got some topics that I want to talk about because they narc me, so I want to talk about them. But we have got the wonderful Nick and we've got the wonderful Neil. Neil, how are you doing, my friend?
Very good, very good. I hope everyone's okay. Ever so slightly bored without any Premier League football on. Yeah, really enjoying the Arsenal injury list. I love it. Yeah, other than that, I've got a cat meowing in the background, which I'm going to strangle in a minute. Only joking if anyone loves cats. Only joking.
Fair enough. Nick, how are you doing, my friend?
I've got to say, for a Tuesday, not too bad. The sun is shining, all is good, and just kind of wanting to get over the lull that is this stupid international friendly break. So,
see, you're both moaning about the. Honestly, I love football at the weekend. We battered Tottenham 5-2.
No, I enjoyed that. Yeah,
for me, I personally love it.
Yeah, Russo was amazing.
Incredible.
Oh, mate, honestly, just
I think
amazing.
we should get it started from the men's team.
Well, honestly, the way that we play football in the women's game is incredible. We do the high press, and we do the sideway passes. But you know what we actually do? We actually create chances as well.
Yeah,
a lot of them.
Passing,
yeah. Right, so everybody in the comments, I do appreciate all your comments. They are going to be coming up, as you can see, on the live chat. This is a new setup, a new trial that I'm trying at the moment, thanks to StreamYard. I know that someone's commented back the Star Wars background. For anyone that knows me, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so that's just going to be the background, in all fairness. And I've got my son into Spaceballs as well. And he's loving
Lord
that.
Dark Helmet. Yeah.
Dark Helmet, yes. So, yes. I'm just loving it at the moment. But yes, we'll get into some questions. I am looking at the comments as well as they're coming up. So please bear in mind that they are going to come up on the screen. So keep your language to the most PG you possibly can. Nick, that includes you. You know what I'm on about, Nick. Right, so we're going to get into the first comment. The first topic that I want to talk about. We are going to cover transfers, obviously, because it's me, but I don't want to talk about that first. I want to talk about what Neil mentioned. Injuries, no Fergie magic. There was no Fergie magic. Right, so I will say what I want to say about it. And you guys can obviously disagree. That's absolutely fine. It's your entitlement. And you're right to disagree with me. There was no Fergie magic. Right, so if there was any Fergie magic, there would be no injury reports. Right? There have been... now, I did update everyone in the Discord. That was 9. It has gone to 12 now. So I have got 12 injury reports. So that was 11 players that got niggles. Now, for anyone that pays attention to the previews, when I do percentages... that means they've got a little bit of a niggle or a little bit of a...
Oh, I lost you, Bob.
So there is issues.
Oh, there we go.
You've lost me.
Yeah, no,
you're back. You're back. You're back.
Oh, okay. I don't know why. Did you hear everything I said? Because I don't know where you lost me.
You said
Niggles.
if anybody has been paying attention, percentages.
Right, okay. So, yeah, when I do those, if that was the situation with internationals, they have an injury report, right? Because at the end of the day, they're not 100% fit. So there is no Fergie magic. They've all got little niggles. There's a few doubts for the weekend. There's a few people with dates, but those dates aren't that far in the distance, so I'm not that bothered. So for people saying, "Oh, look at Arteta and doing this wonderful stuff," it's got sod all to do with Arteta. This is just football. FIFA, if FIFA found out that we were cheating, we would get a huge fine and have a big problem in our hands.
And not only that, Bobby, am I right in thinking that the country's medical staff...
Yes. Yeah, I already know your answer. Yeah, already know your
for
question,
that
mate.
time in charge. They're in charge of the players. So if they send them home, it's because they've sent them home.
Yeah, exactly. No clubs can pull any of their players out now. There might be a little bit question mark on certain countries. I'm not going to mention any, but for England, hell no, we don't do that kind of thing. And rightly so, personally, because I've seen a lot of people saying play for your country is a true honour. Of course it is. For someone that is in the army, don't ever come to me saying it's not an honour to play for your country, because trust me, it is. So yeah, there is no Virgin Magic. Now, guys, you are more than welcome to disagree. So I'm going to start with you, Nick. Do you disagree with anything that I've said, or do you feel that it's gone differently and Arteta's done magic and all that rubbish?
When it comes to this set of internationals, I'm really not that fussed. I mean, anybody that is claiming to be angry or insulted, get a life. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, this has happened time and again. Fergie used to do this at United time and again. You look at Ryan Giggs' his appearance record and availability for Wales and the amount of times that Fergie pulled him out of internationals. Used to happen all the time, and then they would play. So there's other players that have come out, you know. Yeah, there might be a lot. John Stones, has John Stones gone home for City?
Yeah.
And going back, there are other players that have been doing it too, and there's other teams that are doing it. It is part and parcel of football. The reality is, if players are fatigued, and I'm going to point out a recent moment in our history. I remember Harry Kane making a comment in the press about people not appearing for England just last year, and Saka then turned out to be very injured. Do you remember? He was so fatigued and all the rest of it, and usually our players get played in both internationals, and his hamstring went off. I'm pretty sure near the back of that, and then it was like, well, and then it was like, well, there you go. It wasn't fake. Our players are extremely fatigued. They are extremely fatigued. They need the downtime. And that is just the reality of it. If England have made their own assessment and it's kind of a case of it's better not to play these players, what's everybody's, but why is everyone beating a drum?
Yeah, agree. Neil?
Yeah, I mean, Bobby, it's always been my understanding that particularly we're talking about England and a few and Spain and so. From my understanding, always has been that their medical staff take precedent, which is why Saka and Rice turned up to the camp. Albeit they were allowed to not. They were said, look, don't worry about the first game, just show up. They showed up to the game. They obviously had a medical test, and they were sent home because due to fatigue or niggles or whatever. I mean, we saw Declan Rice walking down the stairs the other day after the Carabao Cup. The guy looked like me after just doing my flooring, getting up. You know, it's ridiculous. So, from my point of view, I would have liked the whole Arsenal team to not play these internationals. They're pointless internationals. Look, I get, like, obviously Calafiori. He stayed. He's playing both games because they are a meaning game. They need qualification. Likewise, I don't think it's a bad thing that Ben White's there.
Needs minutes
into England. Yeah, he needs minutes. So, all in all, I think the people. Let's look at who's pulled out. the people that have played the most minutes: Saka, Declan Rice, Zubimendi. Hincapié. He actually looked injured when he came off. Saliba, Gabriel, these guys have played a lot of football this year. And I hear Man United fans barking on X, and I'm sitting there going,
"Oh my gosh,
you've played like 20 games all season because you weren't in any of the tournaments." So, from my point of view, Bobby, I agree with everything you've said, and I've always thought that the country's medical staff have precedent, which is why they turn up. They've obviously been tested and said, go home. So it's all just noise. Do you know why? Because we're so gigantic that obviously we just have to be spoken about, which is fine.
We drive the clicks, don't we? We drive the clicks. That's what it is.
Let them talk.
Well, in all fairness, our fan base doesn't help because we react to the clicks. In all fairness, not all of us. There are some of us are very normal like we are, but there is a slight part of our fan base that do react. And that helps them drastically. Yeah. But as Neil was saying, the international teams have their own medical staff. They do the medical checks. not the clubs. And yes, back in the good old days, you can ask, whatever body it is to say, oh, don't pick him, or can I have him back? And that back then it was allowed, but FIFA went, no, that's not happening, because they want the best players available. There were certain names at the time that were just not being picked because they were more important for the club than they were for the country. And they were like, no. And FIFA were like, no, because we want those best players, because then they get more sponsorship money, because, they're
and rightfully so.
Yeah, it basically it does kind of go down to money at the end of the day. But I do like this new rule. So Fergie was around now and managing. He wouldn't be able to do what he did at all. And Arteta does not have that power. And funny enough, Arteta's not godfather for whatever fan base thinks that he is, because he's nothing like that. He's a dick, but he's not a godfather. So there we go. Right, so that's that covered.
Sorry,
Yes,
just briefly,
Yes.
if it was the England fans, and I'm going to foreshadow. All of this set piece FC that we've been slammed for all season.
Yeah.
When it comes to Saka and Rice taking free corners in the World Cup, they won't be hoping England score corners from it, will
Well,
they?
obviously not. No.
So right now, would you risk Declan Rice versus Japan, a guy that's probably in the red in the fatigue levels, or would you prefer that he has a chance of making it to the World Cup? Exactly. Bearing in mind he's got something like 15 games before the end of the season to potentially
just bear in mind, Nick, though, you've got to be careful, mate, because obviously set pieces aren't goals.
No, they're not.
So England aren't going to. We'll be at 0-0 if we get one.
Anyone who scores in the World Cup is disallowed as a goal.
Yeah, I expect every England fan that's been moaning about it to not celebrate when we score from one. Right, I'm going to quickly go through the comments regarding that little segment. I see Luke's put on Twitter, both Sky Sports and TalkSport have had community notes added to their posts where they've misled people regarding Arsenal players being sent home, not pulling it out of these games. There you go. The only thing I do actually like about the twat that owns X, he has set up a system where it does literally say it's a lie that comes up underneath it, which I do like. I don't like the twat though, but I do like that new creation he's done. Only thing me and Bobby talking about F1, it's the Battery World Championship, no driver skill being used at all, which is a shame. No wonder Max, Russell and Leclerc hate it. Well, there you go. It's just common sense not to risk players in friendlies, especially when we have a World Cup in less than 3 months, says Luke. Exactly. Yep. Ben White starting for England tonight, by the way.
Go on, Benny.
I did want to talk about that, but I'll be honest, I'm sure Ben's fed up about talking about it, and so am I, about the whole situation. Whole different management. Thomas is a much nicer guy than Southgate. Yep. Southgate's a knob. Steve Holland's a knob. And I think that's covered that, if I'm honest. Yep. They're just knobs. And Ben White is playing for someone that he actually respects. And he, Thomas respects Ben for what he is, because Ben's different. He is not a normal footballer where he'll go to play football, do football training, get home, talk about football, watch football, play FIFA. He doesn't do that. As soon as he's out of that training ground, he's like, right, let's look at these new clothes. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's all he cares about. And that's fine. I did struggle with it at first because I'm a football lover, so everything's football. But you have to understand, a lot of these players, it's their job. At the end of the day, if you go to Asda or work at Asda, I know this is a really weird one, and you go home and then play Supermarket Simulator, you're not going to do that. You're going to want to do something different. And, Cillian Murphy, I'm sure when filming Breaking Bad, Peaky Blinders, didn't go home and go, oh, let's watch Peaky Blinders. No, I'm sure he doesn't. I'm sure he doesn't. If anything, that's why he wanted to be killed in that. For any spoiler alerts, should have said spoiler alert there, shouldn't I? Never mind. I'll get hunted. Never mind. Play the dinner ladies in these friendlies. That's how irrelevant they are. What I think is relevant right now is the training camp itself. The training camp is very important. So I like the fact that Rice and Saka
the new players.
Yeah, and it's more to do with Thomas needs to get these tactics into the brains of the players. because they're not going to be playing how they play under Arteta or whatever club they're playing for. So as long as they're part of the training camp and they're hearing what he wants to do, they don't necessarily need to play it. You know, the squad tonight looks decent against Japan. But what you're going to have to understand with Thomas Tuchel is don't expect 7-0s, 8-0s. You might get him sometimes.
It's going to be a bit grinding. Yeah.
Yeah, because what he is a cup manager. He's a very good cup manager. And that's what the World Cup is. It's a cup. I do expect us to do very, very well.
I do. I'm excited about this squad.
I am. Yeah. I wouldn't. It's definitely not the best squad I've ever seen in my lifetime, but it's got a big collection of talent. Some unknown, you know, some kind of But the good thing is, Lee Carsley has been working so well with the under-21s and has trained them right to go up to. Yeah, exactly. Which is why I still trust Madueke. I know Neil has different thoughts of Madueke, but I personally know there's a player there, and once we get him ticking, he's going to bang big time. So that's covered. Injuries. What should we choose next? Because there's a few on here. I'm going to quickly cover this because this will be a quick one. Arteta new deal. Yes, I've been telling you everyone. There's a new deal on the table, but he doesn't sign it until he's won something. It's as simple as that. But they will say, "Oh, he signed his new deal." No, he hasn't. It's on the table. We know what he needs to do. If he wants to sign that dotted line, he's got to win something. It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
but it is a long-term contract.
It's one that it's a long-term contract if he earns it, basically.
Yeah.
And rightfully so.
It's pointless us not negotiating with him, and then all of a sudden at the end of the season, oh, well done, you. Thank you very much for winning the Premier League or whatever we win, and then here's a new deal. It'll be like, piss off. No, and rightly so. Again, in all fairness to Arteta, if that was the situation, I would tell us to piss off. But we've already negotiated with him. We know how much we're going to pay him. We know how long it is. It's a long deal. But people losing their minds over that, contracts mean nothing. They mean nothing. Just because it ends in 2033 doesn't mean that's how long he's here for. Because once he's achieved his goals at Arsenal, he will want to move on. Which is going to please some of us. It's going to upset a lot of people. But that's managers. He's not going to be here like Wenger. I can promise you that. Was Chelsea the greatest squad when Tuchel won Champions League? It wasn't, was it? There you go.
No.
Very true. That's like people saying Slot's staying. If he would have signed this rumour contract extension back from the start of the season. I can promise you, and I don't know anyone paid attention to what I said to Dermot the other show. I said, look out for De Zerbi. Who's the new Tottenham manager?
You did say that.
De Zerbi. There you go.
Bobby Banger.
I know, but unfortunately for Tottenham. But it's lovely because I'm guessing Dermot wasn't listening at the time because he didn't go live with it. I wish he had, because he would have broke the internet.
Bobby,
but never mind.
Can I ask, like with something like that though, surely
yes.
Look, I actually personally don't think they'll get relegated. Unfortunately, I want them to, but I actually don't think they will. I think they'll just be safe. I think they'll have just too much. But if they did, and De Zerbi obviously has signed a long-term contract with them, does he have a clause to get out, or does that mean no? Then you're going to be managing them in the championship.
He will stay. He will stay. He will stay. Yeah.
He gets to clean house that way, then, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, but I will be honest. He will be expected to get promotion straight automatically back that season. He won't survive if they don't get promotion. And I think at the end of the day, how many of us play Football Manager? Any of us?
Yeah.
Is it just me? So if we were to get relegated, would you just leave, or would you go, you know what, this is a good season to rebuild and push again and go back up? I'd personally enjoy it. I personally would. If I got to reset.
Mold the squad in and the system over the course of a championship system. Why not?
And just because going down to championship doesn't mean you're not going to be a strong unit coming back up, because trust me, Tottenham would be very strong. So, I personally don't have an issue with it whatsoever. The whole team is injured again, asking Temi. We have covered that. Have I covered it? Yeah, I
Yeah.
have. Yeah.
You have. I mean, you haven't really said about the.
That will be
percentage.
Friday.
Okay.
I will do that Friday. The reason
Cool.
I don't want to do it now is because people will panic.
And it'll
I
put
have
us-
said there are 12 injury reports, so that is 12 separate players. Obviously, Marino is one of them because obviously I still get an injury report for him because he's out. But I'm not going to worry myself too much about it until Friday because we've got a whole week technically. So some of those percentages will go up. Some might drop a little bit because I think there's at least 2 that still need to be assessed properly, like literally private doctor kind of assessed. But yeah, I'm not too concerned, to be honest. It's just what it is. That's why I put it in the Discord, because I knew people were losing their heads. But it's just percentages, and that's why I do percentages now, because they're less worrying. Or some people, they worry more. I don't know. It's one of those. But none of our players are always 100% fit when they play a game, and that counts for every Premier League team.
But I'm guessing a percentage can change in a day, can't it?
Yeah, it can. It's literally at the end of a training session.
But it can change within hours. So
Yeah. I'm not concerned, which is why I'm going to wait till Friday. We will do a preview for the Southampton game Friday night. I know G will do reaction at some point because obviously it's a late game Saturday, so I can understand why he's not that keen on doing a reaction straight after. He might do it Sunday morning, which is an interesting time, but we'll keep you updated on what time G decides to do one. Some Spurs fans are not happy with the De Zerbi appointment due to his comments regarding Mason Greenwood. Okay. I get where he's. Yeah, I get. Bobby, we would have it avoid. Oh hell no, Temi. Zinchenko is gone, and I'm glad he's gone. Let's move on. The thing. I want Spurs to relegate the same reason we win the league. Judges didn't even get to decide. Chris, the CPS. Yeah, Greenwood's situation is something I don't really want to get onto at all, to be honest. Quick thing on F1, that Bearman crash is huge warning. Just wait until street circuits. It's gonna. Yeah, for anyone that didn't watch F1 at the weekend, Bearman had I think it was about 191 miles an hour crash on the Japanese Grand Prix. It was scary to watch. And Chris is saying here that it's a huge warning regarding this season. So it's obviously the new cars. And wait to the street circuit. So I hope nothing happens like that, because Bearman did limp out of the car, which is unusual because there's got so many safety barriers and all that kind of stuff now in the cars. So it was kind of concerning, but scary stuff, that's for certain. Right, let's move on to the next one. We've done injuries. This is going to be a very quick one. Stadium renovation. You will hear more, in my opinion, May time.
Right.
We have nearly finished the final plan. So until we've literally finished it, it's pointless talking about, because obviously things can still change. But it does look like we're going to be over 70,000. There is a possibility. Yeah, it will be high tech. Which then, this is where it adds a problem. We might have to relocate for a bit, which is the big
Wembley again.
Well, I'm hoping so. Yeah, I know. Well, this is once the final plans are out, I'll let you all know. But at the moment, it's looking.
Is that
I was hoping we was going to hit nearer to 80, Bob. To tell you the truth, to make it worthwhile.
We still could get to 80, but currently it is over 70,000. There are, like I said, there's still some fine tuning to do at the moment, but we could get to 80,000.
I definitely want one of those big screens that hang in the middle of the.
In the middle. I mean, do you think going to 70, is it really worth the expenditure and being moved around for an extra 10,000?
The high-tech side of it, yes, it is, definitely. It's going to bring in so much more money for us as well, the way that we're doing it.
Because it can be an events venue.
As much as KSC, as much as you want to hate KSC, when it comes to finance, this is hugely important for us that we do this. Yeah. It helps us out, become self-sufficient quicker than what some fans will probably like. But at the end of the day, you have to be self-sufficient. Yeah. And I just agree with the plans. If we can get to close to 80,000, then great. If it's just over 70,000, I'm still fine with it, because I think
75.
in this. Yeah, well, in this day and age, I think 70 plus is fine. In all fairness, and it's definitely a stadium size which make you self-sufficient anyway, and that's what we need to be. We need to be self-sufficient. So hopefully May we should have the plans done. So that's just over a month now.
And a centre screen, please, Bob. If you have any contacts, just
and all the LED gizmos and everything.
It's going to be proper high tech. What I've seen of it so far, it looks amazing. It's very much. You can definitely tell KSC are behind it. So if you know the SoFi Stadium, they know how to design stadiums, and so far it's looking epic. But it's not the final plan yet, so I'm waiting to see the final draft, and then I'll be like, oh yes. I'm going to cover transfers last. I think would be the best one. Right, I want to cover this. ITKs with attitude. I personally would avoid them. Now, the reason I'm talking about this, there's certain ITKs out there that people are trusting with the highest whatever. I personally would not, because they shouldn't have any attitude. Now, when I say attitude, it's when they come back and they start attacking different people's posts and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Now, when you're an ITK, and I know some people use that as a bad term for someone. Yeah. Sorry, my speech is not greatest, so I'm trying my best. What was I going to say now? Oh, yeah. But I class ITKs as absolutely fine as long as they are actually in the know. But when they start attacking people, I question them. I don't like that. Have your own information, share it nicely. I was sent one. Was it yesterday? Early this morning I was sent one from someone because they were like, you really need to deal with this. I was like, okay, that's going to be a topic on the show tonight. Right, so someone posted something about injury updates for a specific club. And then he got into the final paragraph and he made up some kind of stupid story about a PE teacher. And I'm like, why are you bringing his name up? One, not injured. Two, literally playing for the under-19s today. Scored a fantastic goal, by the way, if you ever get to see it. And I'm like, don't do that. Come with your information and stop with the stupid jokes, because a fan will look at that name and go, oh, crap, what's wrong with him now? Because you're trusted as an ITK. So don't do the jokes, because it's just not funny. Because there are fans out there that literally read every single bit of information.
And they hang on every word.
Yeah, and then I see people attacking other people. I'm like, you don't know who they know, for a start. No. It's like we have other ITKs that do with the Discord. I won't attack them. I might not agree with the information they're sharing, but I won't attack them because I don't know specifically who their information person is. So I just kind of be careful who you're listening to. Oh, what I do want to say, there was who was it? A Newcastle one, works for the Telegraph, I think. He come out with something today or yesterday again. Now, bear in mind, this guy did say Isaac would never leave Newcastle. Just bear that in mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So be very careful who you trust, because if you don't know anything about that situation, then just kind of stay stum. Very, very quickly, because I personally don't like talking about these anyway. But I know it's come out today. Nick, do you like it?
I've not seen. Have you? I'm going to give you a live reaction right now. So,
where would he find it easier? I think it is in our Discord somewhere. Whilst we wait for Nick. Neil, have you seen it?
I haven't. No, I haven't.
Oh, bloody hell.
Which one are we talking about? Are we talking about
the red one, the home, with the quite a lot white at the top with two stripes, one dark red, one red. People don't like it.
Yeah, that's not reaching me. The blue though. I like the blue away. If that was it.
I'll give you a live reaction.
I'm not a fan of that, no.
No, I'll be honest. I hardly ever buy the red kit. It's very rare I buy it. I prefer the away kits. I always have done.
Oh, that's really not good.
I think
I don't like the colour.
I'll be put it out there because I'm ginger. Ginger and red just don't mix anyway very well together. So I'm not the greatest fan of red.
Right, I'm having
My
a look
son
at
would.
it.
My son loves
Bruce-
red. It's his favourite colour.
If that is real, the Bruised Banana Blue kit, that's the shirt I'm buying next year.
Well, in all fairness, when it comes to shirt leaks, I think it should just be left to Adidas because they're the ones that do it. I don't personally like leaking it. I just don't agree with it personally. Adidas should be doing this, and only Adidas. But I do know that red kit is real.
Right.
Is that the one with deal on the side of it?
Yeah, because that's obviously our new shirt sponsor because of Visit Rwanda's gone.
I mean, I don't mind the red shirt. It's not awful. I just love. I think we just need to go back to the black and gold shirt. It was just awesome. It was my favorite shirt so far for a long time.
I'm with you on that.
Apart from the golden oldies, yeah, one of my favorite shirts. That black and gold one.
Yeah. I'm just going to go through the comments because some of this is quite funny. Arsenal don't want to play at Wembley now. Arteta record is gone. I really don't want us to play at Wembley for a couple of years. I do think if the relocation does happen, it won't be long term. I think because if you just look at the design of stadiums now, especially the new ones, you can see why it's not possible to do an upgrade whilst you're playing because it's round. Obviously, Anfield, you can kind of get away with it. Molyneux, you could definitely get away with it. But because it's a round stadium with no gaps, it's just impossible. So you kind of can understand it. It's kind of why I still wish we were still in hybrid, but that's a whole different topic. I guarantee we could have got the hybrid to 80,000 easily. That's just me. The cover links, Temi, we'll talk about transfers shortly. Let's see what else. Colour into Arsenal don't want to play at Wembley now. Arteta. Bobby, what do you think is the reason Arteta is consistently described as not being able to coach a proper attack, even though he has all the records for most goals scored in a season at Arsenal?
I think it's him getting over the line. He's literally this season. He has to win. And he has to get us over the line.
I've covered that.
He has adopted any football that will do that for him, and that's as plain as that. Simple as that.
I likened it in a different stream, Bobby. That it's almost like Arteta is a 400-meter runner, and he's the lactic acid has kicked in, and he's in the final 100. And it is just whatever way he can get over the line, he's going to do it. And if it's ugly, it's ugly, and that's
trust me, it's ugly. It is. I'm with you. Look, I honestly do think he'll change his football next season. If we win something and he stays, I with who I see what we're trying to buy, I don't see this type of football next season at all. Because if it is, then he needs sacking immediately. Because the players that we buy, it's pointless. Absolutely pointless buying what we're buying. Totally. Well. Neil, you don't even know who we're buying yet.
I've got a brief idea of who I think we're getting, and I think if some of those rumors are true, you know, you cannot play this type of football with those types of players.
You can't. It's
just impossible. Berta will physically go down onto the pitch and rearrange him like there and then. I think so. Berta taking over at half time from Arteta. No, it's going to be interesting though. I'm really looking forward
to a three-pronged attack, boys.
They're quite right.
Well, if we got the left winger last season, we would have got it, but never mind. It is what it is. Chris saying KFC is good fast food chain, better than frozen McDonald's. I'll be honest, if you've got a burger and sauce near you, you've got to try burger and sauce because they are incredible. Any outgoing news? Oliver, we'll get onto talking about transfers shortly. There's one more topic I want to do before we get into transfers. We need our players fit for Bournemouth. I swear people forgetting there's a game next week before the Bournemouth game.
Yeah, the Southampton game.
No, Sporting.
Sporting. Yeah, sorry.
The big game.
Yeah, I think it's because in terms of the league, taking our full point gap, the 4 point gap to City is so important. That's why Bournemouth is in my head. I'm like, got to win that game. That's
Yeah.
such an important game. That's why I think I'm focusing on that.
Do you know what, Nick? I agree with you, mate. But I also think that should they get knocked out of another competition, I just think it will break their confidence massively.
Happened to the Invincibles. They went out in 1 week in the Champions League and FA Cup.
I agree, but I just think this team are going to rely for the rest of the season on mentality.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to get them through. And I think if they don't go and beat Sporting, I think it will damage a lot of the players. And I count like Declan Rice in there, these mentality monsters, because they just want to win everything, which is what I want. I want them to think like that. I want them to be like, we need to win that. So I'm looking at the Sporting game. Yes, the league's important, but let's not forget as well. I think we're all sitting there going, "Oh, 4 point gap, 4 point gap." Mate, City are still going to drop points, and I've said it all season. City are going to drop points, and it is everyone. When I said, "Oh no, City will drop points against Forest," everyone was like, "Oh mate, you're very confident." And I was like, "City are going to drop points. Mark my words. City will drop more points and more points. They're not what they used to be, and I don't think they're as good as they used to be. Like Bobby said, City aren't worrying me because I think City are going to drop points still. Massive.
I agree with you. I can see City getting 2 draws, which is 4 points dropped. Combined with our 6 that we're in front, that's 10 points. I don't see us dropping 10 points just for them to get level. That would then, if you think that would be literally 3 defeats in the bag, just for
if
them
he
having
does,
2
I'm
draws.
going to go and fire Arteta.
We know players for Ariola team always trouble Arteta, full squad or not. Yeah, Tim, I do agree, but I'm more worried about Southampton because I think mentality. I think it's important that we perform against Southampton as well, and then the small factor of Sporting Lisbon, which I will be doing a preview. Not that anyone seems to remember that game exists, but we do have a Champions League game.
Return of Victor.
Exactly. I think that's a huge game, personally.
Yeah, I do. I'm with you, of course.
I want Max Dowman to start.
Well, the way that he's going, as long as it doesn't involve, he should be half term, so he should be okay.
Need to be respected.
Yeah, but GCSEs for him coming up soon, so he's going to be less available, unfortunately, is what it is. Luke's saying his child loves these graphics, by the way. He's jumping up and down in front of the TV, waving his hands now and again. Love it. I'm glad. Look, I just wanted something a little bit different for this specific show. I might try it a little bit more on transfer news. I can't do it for Match Reaction, it's impossible, and I definitely can't do it for any other shows that we do. But this one, I thought, something different, and I'm glad it's going well, and I'm glad everyone can see their comments coming up.
Looks really good.
Is it true we win?
I said to Bobby before we started, it's like those 90s PCs screensavers. I'm just like, ooh.
Yeah, no, I'm literally trancing out. I'm trying to concentrate.
Well, I nearly put fish there, to be fair. I nearly put some fish there because I've got an obsession with aquariums and stuff. But I felt Star Wars, Back to the Future type style. So, yeah, that works for me. Is it true we win the league if we win our next 2 games? No.
No.
Temmie, what are you reading?
Actually, no. He's because that would be a win if we won our next 2. That's Bournemouth. Then that would be beating City. So that would take us to technically 12 points in front.
Haven't we got Newcastle before City?
No. It goes Bournemouth and City. No, I'm pretty sure it goes Bournemouth, City, Newcastle.
Hang on. I'm just going to... I don't have the fixtures in front of me, but I'm pretty sure we've got...
Bournemouth, City, Newcastle.
I thought City was the 6th game out of 6.
Arsenal fixtures.
Oh no, you're right. City are the 5th one. When did that happen then?
Bournemouth, Sporting, City. No, you're right.
Yeah, so City. Oh yeah.
I actually prefer that. Can I just say? I actually think I prefer that because I want to go and beat City to seal it. Well, to near on seal it.
Well, they go away to Chelsea, don't they? They're away to Chelsea when they get back.
Yeah.
I think, Temmie, City would have to drop points in one of their games for us to then win the next 2 games and we win it, because there's not enough points between us, because there's still another 15 after that, and there's not a 15-point gap. So yeah.
City
So
will have to
technically
lose.
yes, technically no.
If we
will
won
have
our
to
next
lose-
3 and they dropped,
Right, City would have to lose to Chelsea and draw, and if we won our next 2, then theoretically we would.
I don't do anything theoretically. It has to be.
Okay,
It
we
has
would
to
need
be
to win our next 3,
mathematically.
and they would need to lose and draw 1.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
well, they would naturally lose 1 if we won our next 3. So
Yeah,
if they drew to Chelsea and lost to us,
and we
that
won our
would be
next
it.
3.
And we beat Newcastle. It's probably
So
we would have a chance at Newcastle.
So tell me, the basic answer to this, it's not a basic answer at all. Possible. It's possible. But we don't know, and I don't think that far ahead, in all fairness. I've always told you the only person that I'm ever worried about beating us is us. I'm not concerned about Man City in the slightest. I'm watching their transfers stuff at the moment. I'll be honest, I'm not concerned in the slightest about Man City. They seem to be panicking. I don't know why. Many signings do you think we will get, says Ollie. We'll get into that in a minute. Chris going through his Star Wars. The best ones. I'll be honest, I've not watched Rogue One. That's the only one I haven't watched.
Do give it a go, Bobby. It is worth watching.
Fair enough. ITK is a kids in bedrooms with trousers around their ankles. Enough said there, Chris. Enough said. Chris already knows the person I was on about with Newcastle as well. Yes, well guessed. He is an absolute plonker. And he writes for the newspaper. But hey ho. Who cares about new shirts, win trophies? Yep, agree. I could talk forever. I'm still was a big fan of the expanded universe now. Legends. I noticed when Carlisle and Liverpool have shit kits, they do well. Yeah, I remember. Was it that horrible kind of multicoloured shirt that you had, and you had a good season that season? Darth Vader. At the end of Rogue One, the aura. Oh, I need to watch that bit then. Darth Vader entrance on that ship at the end. Okay.
Yeah.
Darth Vader's one of my favourite characters. So
it's epic. It's one of the epic Vader moments.
Well,
along with the Kenobi series, there's a couple in that as well.
Oh, okay. Well, for people that know me here, especially, I like tattoos. I've got a lovely tattoo on my arm with Batman and all that kind of stuff. And the next tattoo I would want is Yoda in a Darth Vader mask after he's been hurt. So you got Yoda's face showing a little bit, and his ears coming out of the helmet.
Nice,
but still Darth Vader's.
I'm a big Thor fan. So.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's literally where I got Batman is on that part.
Is that Hela?
Yes, mate. Yeah, the whole tattoo is basically Vikings, and yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, my son will like that because he's very much into all that kind of stuff. City relegation confirmed, says Commander. Nothing's confirmed yet. Masters of Universe trailer. I've not seen it yet. I do need to see it because I think we're all of the same age that we probably would have had the toys when we were kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I did.
Yeah.
So I'm not afraid to admit that. Victor Jokeres start for Sweden. Jokeres is starting again. Hi, Bobby hurtling through space. Yes, I am. Removing MGU. F1 wanted it gone. We would get it back. Audi don't like it. We get new sponsors. We will get more sponsors, Commander, when the renovations have been agreed, because there'll be new places. I don't want to say too much, but there'll be new places to put sponsors. So yeah, we definitely will be happening there. Right, last bit. This is going to annoy some people, I know this, but I have to talk about it because it's annoying me. VAR, clear and obvious. Now, before you two come back at me, I think fans don't quite understand what clear and obvious means. Clear and obvious means the referee has made a clear and obvious mistake from his point of view, not from where you're sitting or from the linesman's view or anything else, or because obviously don't forget we now know where the referee is looking at that specific time from his point of view as well. So obviously if he's looking over in the far distance at something else, but the incident has happened to the left of him and he can't really see it, He's not made a clear and obvious mistake because
He's missed it.
he's missed it.
Yeah.
And VAR cannot
Intervene
because it has to be what they can do, which is what's happened with the Everton game, because obviously this is what's brought this up, and it's really pissed me off because I've seen all the comments on the Premier League's post about it, because funny enough that they send them to me, and I was like, what on earth are they on about? Right, so the Everton one, yes, it was a penalty. There was a whole panel that agreed, everybody agreed it was a penalty. But the reason is VAR did not overturn it because from the referee's point of view, he didn't make a clear and obvious mistake. VAR cannot intervene. You don't want VAR intervening because that's not the whole point of them. They are there if he makes a mistake. Not to say, oh, hang on, you've missed that. You've been a dickhead there. Honestly, I'm losing my head. And I know that all the fans have come out and gone, we don't like VAR. You do realise VAR is a system and it's powered by the referees that we all hate. No one else controls it. There is no other independent panel. There are some techie guys in there that help with all the camera views and if there's issues with certain computer stuff. But it is still decided by the same referee that's going to be on the pitch the following week, who is a knob. Right? They're all knobs. I've stated this and I will categorically state it every single show. Every single referee is a dick. Rob Jones shouldn't be anywhere near the Premier League. I wouldn't even put him in the National League, personally. And that is the problem, not VAR. The VAR system is amazing. You look at Saudi, you look at other countries that operate it and operate it brilliantly because they know how to operate it.
Yeah,
but these twats,
they've got proper referees.
Yeah, it's like it's basically like there's a couple, right? One always goes to work, one always stays at home and does the shopping. All of a sudden, those roles reverse, right? And that person that goes shopping has to go and use the self-checkout, right? Never use the self-checkout in their entire life, and they are cool, and they're like, okay, what have I got to do? What have I got to do? That is the referees. They are so fucking dumb. They haven't got a bloody clue what they're doing, right?
Bobby, why are you describing my marriage, mate? Like, that's me.
No, I'm trying to put it into terms that I'm trying to can put it out there because the refs are just dumb and they're so stupid and thick. And I'll be honest, sometimes I do actually think they want VAR to fail because
they don't have the transparency.
Yes, in my opinion.
They don't like how bad they're looking.
Yes, because take VAR away, right, and we don't ever talk about that. How bad are the refs going to look again?
Well, how bad was it in the FA Cup round a round ago? The decisions that were going there, and it was just like, oh, gosh, have you forgotten how to officiate?
Honestly, I'm just so fed up. VAR is a very good system. It's a system now. You don't complain about... so you get a letter, right? Do you complain about the email or do you complain about the person that wrote the email?
Yeah.
You don't complain about Google Mail, do you? No.
VAR works perfectly. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. I'm in agreement. It is the idiots operating it.
Can I just ask a question while we're on this, Bobby?
Yes,
talking
mate.
about these absolute numbskulls.
Yep.
Surely it gets to a situation in the Premier League that we are the best league in the world. We are the most competitive league in the world. We are the quickest league in the world, so on and so forth. Surely it gets to a situation where we then go, okay, well, we buy the best players from everywhere in the world.
We're going to take the refs.
Surely we get the best referees in the world and get them to come over and do Premier League games.
Yep.
As well. So we use a UEFA/FIFA.
Yeah, I like it. Because I don't agree with just
all referees referee around the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't agree with with one referee being the top certificated referee. If you've got a business where you've got to face audits, I'd imagine, Dodsey.
Yeah.
And it's not about rushing around like a blue ass fly to meet those
Nope.
standards. You make those standards your base, your your
Base.
baseline, so that you're always exceeding it. So if you
So
got a
when you
spot
get an
check
order when you get an order to come in, you don't know about it. They walk
yeah,
in, they say, "Hey, we're here to audit your company."
yeah,
You sit there and go, "Great, our systems are
yeah,
running
all
like
good.
they've run all year round." So
And
I
the
agree with you.
referees all should be at a top level, because then
Yeah,
your pool is bigger.
Mm.
And I think it's a problem that we have such a small pool of referees. It seems protectionism. Sorry,
Yeah.
1 second.
No worries, mate. I think with Neil's idea, I have recommended this for seasons and seasons, my friend.
yeah, I get
But
that.
the problem is, every organisation would have to agree to it. And I'll
Yeah,
be honest, I think the state of our referees puts the other ones
nobody
off.
else wants. Yeah, nobody else
Yeah,
wants them. Yeah, I
exactly.
get,
Because if we're going to accept theirs, they're going to have to accept ours, and
yeah, I
ours are
get that.
shit. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
Oh,
want
but
Rob Jones anywhere near Benidorm, personally.
I think my biggest umbrage with the referees is when they got the show like they've got on Sky, and it is the mental gymnastics of they go through, rather than
Yeah.
just turn around and say we've made a mistake. It
Mm.
is, what's the current narrative, even though it could be, it flies in the face of what's happened in a previous game, a previous week, or the same weekend. It will
Yeah.
be mind-bendingly weird logic just to justify that one moment without
Yeah.
taking ownership of the issue, and that's my biggest frustration.
Yeah,
Well, I
I
mean, you only
agree.
have to look at Mark Clattenburg when he comes on, and he'll sit there during a game as like a spare commentator, effectively to commentate on the referees'
Mm,
decisions. And he sits there and he's like, "Oh God, that was terrible. He's missed that one, or he's missed." And don't get me wrong. I mean, I think Mark Clattenburg was a very good man, a very good referee. Some people didn't like him, whatever, but I think the criticism of them, I think, just help these guys out and bring international referees, have a
Mm.
central referee system where all referees from everywhere in the world are a central system. And then you go, right, who have I got this weekend? Oh, I've got Arsenal, Man City this weekend. Oh, you're coming from Spain, you're coming from Germany, you're coming from Italy, whatever. All come there, and you literally, there you go. That's the referees for this game. There's enough referees around the world because they're obviously refereeing each game as they are
Yeah.
in their own countries. Just
Yep.
centralize it and make it a centralized system. I can write the system if they want it. Let me know. Hourly rate will be decent. Be fine.
Mate, I'm with you. But unfortunately, as I said, they don't like our refs. And rightly so, because ours are shit. Ours are not good enough. They are too. Well, I always say this. They are too famous now. They should
Yeah.
not exist, in my opinion.
yeah, you shouldn't know them.
We shouldn't know their names.
Mm.
I only remember names from the '90s because they were good. Do you know what I mean? There's no ones I remember that were just awful. I don't remember any of them, to be fair. There was quite a lot, but Uriah Rennie, the Italian
Ryan and Keith
dude,
Hackett. Oh,
yeah.
Kalina. I liked Kalina. He
Oh,
was a quality referee
Mate. It also
that
took
guy
men
should
to
be
me.
involved in this
with
referee system
everything.
now
Yeah,
because the guy is incredible and
yeah,
no
he
one
was.
messed with him.
No
No
Yeah.
one. He wasn't
respect
exactly a
all the
big
way through
lad,
the game.
um,
No,
but he reminds me of the bad guy in Roger Rabbit, the one that Chris Lloyd played.
yeah. He was played by Doc Brown out of Back to the Future, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I love Cleaner. Really high respect for the guy. Absolutely incredible ref. Right, let's see the comments about this one. This is going to be interesting. Oh dear. Sorry, but I needed to talk about it because it was really doing my head over. Self checkout, best thing invented. I don't want a life story from a person serving me. I'll be honest, I love a self checkout. I'm disappointed if there's not one in the shop, to be honest. Nothing wrong with technology, it's the officials using it, ref on pitch, and they keep changing the laws. The laws are confusing, I'll be honest. IFAB are the big organisation that changed the laws. And I'll be honest, when it comes to Wenger, I'll be honest, I wish he stayed out of this because he has come up with some stupid ones now. But it is what it is. But they are really confusing. But it's kind of like, again, very much like you got a 50-year-old man who all of a sudden the PS5 came out and they're like, what on earth is all this? And yet basically they're ringing their child, say, how do you do this? That's basically what it is with the refs. They just haven't got a clue. They're just so dumb. And they all need to go back to school, personally. The refs are too reliant on VAR bailing them out, but the VAR refs don't like ever turning their mates' mistakes. Could it work better with more competent people? Sure. I've come up with this solution. I guarantee they won't listen to me because they never do when it comes to refs. Independent refs, very much like what Neil said, where you get someone from abroad who will then sit in the VAR booth because they all know how VAR works. Right, everybody in the whole world knows how VAR works because they all use it. So there's no reason why we can't use their refs to sit in the VAR room and do that.
It's all done on live stream anyway. So
yeah, exactly.
I don't understand. You can do it from anywhere in the world.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to do it from Stockley Park personally, but there we go. But yeah, my car is reading all these comments out, by the way, with the chat. Brilliant stuff. But please make sure you're not giving Luke's child anything dodgy to read. He'll be struck by something else soon enough. We had a female referee. When it comes to, I don't even go into the male female. I'll be honest, there are amazing female referees, but there are also bad ones, just like there are male ones. That Rebecca Welch is the best one. No, obviously no relation to Chris, but Rebecca Welch is the best referee in the female football. There was a Welsh one, but I can't remember her name. That was a couple of years ago. She was very, very good. And then she went on to train refs, which is why there's been some good ones recently. But I think their job is just really hard with having to learn all the new laws. But don't forget, with the women's football, there is no VAR because they voted against it. But they are regretting that. So
I think not enough of our refs have played the game. You know, when they're trying to be subjective about body position and all of that sort of stuff. When you jump, your elbows do come up. When you go to slide for a ball, your hand does drop down. You know, all of these things, they're too removed from the game, and then we're asking them to officiate it.
They're just a bunch of wankers.
We could do with some good ex-pros coming in as well.
Said that as well. But the problem is, money-wise, that they're not paid anything like what footballers can get elsewhere. That's the problem.
But what's wrong with taking Division 2 footballers? They're not on massive wages.
True. Yeah. I can think of a couple of big lads from the League 2 that would be brilliant as refs, to be honest, because I guarantee no one's going to start on those.
They've played the game, Bobby. Yeah. So then there's automatically they know what a player's up to, if he's blocked him off or if he's. Do you know what I mean? They've got a little bit more of an eye for it.
Yeah. I mean, I played rugby a lot. I played quite a high standard rugby, and growing up, and just look at the rugby referees. You know, they're not. Some of them aren't even that big, and they call the guy over and they say,
the Irish guy.
I
love the Irish guy. Yep. Can't think of his name. That Irish ref, the most famous one. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Oh, the respect he gets from his players is incredible.
And it's as simple as that. But I think that our players don't. None of the footballers respect the referees.
No, God, no.
Because they're rubbish. They are rubbish,
yeah.
But at the same time, if you ever turned around to a rugby ref and went, for sake, we all see we all see the lips move once they finish talking and they're muted, but. If someone tried that with a rugby referee, literally, you'd be like, "See you later. Enjoy the rest of your game on the bench."
I think if you're looking to improve it, I would. If I was IFAB, I would bring in descent to a sim bin for descent. You get 5 minutes, 10 minutes off the pitch. If you're descenting to the referee to clean up the game, you'd only have to do it for a couple of seasons, and everybody would learn.
They want to bring that in, though, don't they? Sim bin into the game.
But that's what I would use it for, not for any other infractions. I would be if you're bad mouthing the ref or that sort of stuff. Yeah, and then you'd clean up.
I can see sin bin coming in at some point. I don't think it will last very long, personally, but I can see it coming in.
Have you seen the England team starting? Everyone, I'd just like to say Foden up front in number 9.
Really, number 9? I had him on the wing.
Foden's playing number 9.
Oh, I've got Gordon as the number 9 and Foden left hand.
Yeah,
okay.
That's why I had as well.
Yeah, no, I've just seen on the TV. Foden starting at number 9. Oh, my God.
I'm going to guess that's going to interchange because Gordon can do the number 9.
Yeah, Gordon's playing on the left, but I think he'll.
Where's Kane?
He's not on the pitch, mate.
He's not on the bench.
He may be on the bench. I didn't see the bench.
No,
No, he's not. He's
No.
not.
Oh, he's not on the bench either.
Oh dear,
No.
Bayern. Are you
Must be
trying to
having a
join the
big
club
one,
with
mate.
us?
He's
No one will
90,
comment on that, I can
97.
guarantee.
No. That's all gone under the radar, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, because it's Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Big up to Michael saying, evening fine gents. Suzuki
Mike.
playing tonight for Japan. Is he one of the goalkeepers on the list? Yes, he is. The list is huge, by the way. It's not just like 5 players in one position. It's a huge list. It will be worked down. But we have got 2 players that are kind of locked in at the moment. I do expect those to be pulled as well. Long trip, but places like Plaintree are very underrated. I love National League. Part from JJ. Maybe I'm related to her. Who knows? Jeremy Carl on the rest of my day are better, which don't say much despite I got into trouble. Bobby, has there ever been a serious chat about independent timekeeping? I really think we're in the dark ages in regards to this
Just stop the
game
clock.
in general. Exactly. That's
do
how
time
I've said
added.
it.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
do time added. I'll just stop the clock like they do in
Yeah.
rugby. Just stop the
Look
clock.
at rugby.
Every-
Look at rugby.
Everybody can see it. There's no subjectivity or anything like that. We're not waiting for the referee. Like,
Yeah.
5 minutes have come up and 8 minutes gone, because that's the mind-boggling thing. When you see 5 minutes, right, and we've played for 9 or something like that,
Yeah.
you've basically turned around and said that in the second half, 20% of the time has not been played.
Yeah.
When you've played for 9 minutes, that's crazy.
But
I know.
not only that, Nick. But look, in rugby, it is what it is. So
Stop the clock.
the clock stops when the ball goes out. The clock stops. When
Yeah.
it goes back in, clock carries on going.
It's not
It gets to
complicated,
the
is
end
it?
of the game. It gets to the end of the game. Clock stops, and it doesn't. The game doesn't stop until someone puts the ball out of play.
Once it's hit that and it goes red, then the referee
if,
whistle.
if there's an attacking team that wants to score a goal until an infringement is caused or the ball goes out or something, that's the game.
But Dodsey, I wouldn't even do that. The game is 90 minutes long. So if it then makes it to the 90th minute, doesn't matter where it is, you blow your whistle. That's the rules.
Yeah. But there has been conversations because there was a worrying statistic that we got. Was it end of last season, where we got the average time of actual football that was played in 90 minutes, and it was so low. All of our faces went, "What? That can't be right." So yeah, it will be
55
discussed.
minute mark, isn't it?
It's shockingly bad. Yeah, it's around
a minute, 50, 55 minutes.
It's bad. It's bad. We should be getting 90 minutes of football, and we're not by a long shot. But yeah, the conversation will carry on for a while, I reckon. I know Wenger's come up with some interesting and crazy ideas. We'll wait and see what happens. But
The dude just needs stuff now, man. Like
this will be a FIFA decision. It won't be a specific organisation's lower down one. It will be FIFA's decision, in my opinion, on it. And that's why I can't do that, because it's going to be down to the scumbags that are FIFA. So, and everyone knows my feelings on FIFA, so I don't care what I say publicly. They are scumbags. Is Neil really taking a friendly seriously? Says Chris.
I love football, guys. Like, I'm not gonna lie about it. Like, I love football. I'm a bit bored. I miss the Premier League, but I just love football. So I enjoy watching football. I enjoy the tactical side of it. I enjoy looking how people are playing. I'm enjoying watching Japan. They look actually quite lethal. I was actually looking at their left winger going, "Who's that? Who's that dude? Clearly, we need him." But no, I just love football. So I'm enjoying watching it, really. But I'm intrigued to go into the transfer stuff, the meaty stuff, Bobby.
Yeah, well, that comes up now. Transfer-wise, what I can say is we are creating what I would say is a very large bid for a midfielder. So I would suggest our biggest spend will be on the forward line and the midfield. We will buy a new defender, and I'm pretty sure that will be announced close to the end of the season, I would have assumed. Because I know someone said in the comments earlier, are we going to sign anybody from Newcastle? In my opinion, we'll sign at least one from Newcastle this summer. I don't know if we'll sign 2, but at least one will come from Newcastle.
Fullback and winger.
I personally think it will just be the fullback, personally. I think
either of them. I love them both, but I'm a big Hall fan, by the way.
yeah, I know you are, but I think because I will talk about Livramento. I've got no issues with it.
I've got no
It's out
problems
there
with him
publicly.
either. Just injury.
Livramento, because a lot of people just think, oh, he's coming in for Ben White. I think people forget, just because you've seen him a lot on the right back position, that's not his main position. His main position is left back. He is an actual left back. So he covers two positions. If it was to be Livramento, I think that personally makes sense. And then we can get a young centre back that is versatile. We still need to be versatile because it's just the way that we look at players. But at least we don't have to worry too much about the right and the left back positions so much, because we do need someone that bombs forward. Timber's good, but he's not perfect. Calafiori's good, not perfect. Kincape's...
I need Calafiori to stay, Bobby. I really need Calafiori to stay, mate.
Calafiori at the moment does look more like he's going to stay than go. However, there are 3 clubs looking at him very strongly. So the decision for me will be down to the player, because if the player, I don't think he'll force the move, but I think he might just ask to move. He won't force it. And I'm sure because of the way that Berta does scouting, we have backups. So if Calafiori was to leave, we wouldn't go, oh God, we've got a gap now. Berta will like, okay, that's fine. This are the players that I've looked for this player position, so we'll just go and buy one of those now then. I
think he'll be pivotal to the end of the season, and I think
till the end of the season he's going to be important. Look, I love Hincape, and Hincape is my choice over everybody, but only because defensively he is really good. I've never looked at Hincape and gone, yes, I would love to see him go down the wing. I've never looked at Hincape and done that in my entire life, because I like a defender to be a defender, funny enough.
Same here.
So with Calafiori, I think he's a little bit suspect defensively, but going forward, absolutely amazing. I think we should play him at number 9 sometimes, personally, because I do think he'll cause an absolute...
The Marino role. He really could.
Yes, yeah. I'm trying to think of one of our... Was it who was... Oh, I wish Brenny was around, because I'm sure Brenny would know this automatically. But we had a defender very many years ago that used to play in... Because I guarantee Brenny would answer this immediately.
Yeah.
Brenny would have right away, mate.
He would when it comes to Arsenal, and it's got nothing to do with numbers. He's brilliant.
As long as he doesn't have to work the maths out, he'd be brilliant.
Was you going to say a similar sort of Arsenal fullback that was just like wild going
It was
forward?
a defender one. Yeah, I don't think it was necessarily a fullback, but it was definitely a defender. And he used to go up front. I think it was tactical as well. I think sometimes we actually use... Was it Steve Bold?
Oh.
Did Steve Bold used to do it?
Maybe he did, but I remember him getting an equaliser against Wimbledon of all things.
I can't... it's going to bug me now. Brenny, if you watch this back, please put it in the comments.
What, Brenny?
Yeah, please help us. Right, to talk about midfield, we'll cover defence. So midfield, we are building a big offer, and I'm talking close to 100 million quid for a midfielder. So I do think we are going to spend... I'm gonna put my neck out and say we are going to have 100 million on net spend. Personally, I really do.
Bobby, is that number 6, number 8, number 10 position?
I don't particularly like talking about 6 and 8s, if I'm honest. He's a really good midfielder. And what position he really comfortable? Probably a good 8 and could do a 6 okay. It's definitely not a 10. So get the 10 out of your head before anyone's listening. Go, have a new 10. No, it's definitely not a 10. This is a midfielder that's going to be a midfielder. I don't particularly like the 6 and 8s. So I don't personally care about that. As midfielders are midfielders to me. And yeah, I just think if we get him, I'll be delighted personally. But what I think a lot of Arsenal fans also forget about this window. I remember someone saying, "Oh, we've only scouted or only want one English player." If we sell the players that we are planning on selling, we are going to need more than one English based player, because Martinelli is homegrown. So if we lose Martinelli, we lost him. Waneri, Lewis, Skelly, they would be homegrown. I personally do think they're both going to go out on loan. So we need to make sure we are protecting our homegrown quota as well, because we don't want to get in trouble for that. because you lose a squad position, squad space if you go over. So we don't want to do that. So in my opinion, I think we sign at least 2 English players. Personally, this window.
First team starters, Bobby.
See okay, let's talk about Livramento because the midfielder wise, the midfielder I would class more as a rotation player because we need to start rotating that midfield. We can't stick with Rice and Zubimendi all the time. So I will call this midfielder a rotation player, but good quality rotation, not a Norgard.
No drop off.
Yeah, there is, and he's a good age as well. So,
what £100 million rotation player?
Declan Rice won't be playing every game. He's 105
I would see it
million.
as we've got 3 players that can play 2 slots.
Yes.
And the composition would be any which way we want it to be.
Yes.
Lowering everybody's minutes. Yeah. And that's how I would see
our
it.
target next season is going to be playing over 60 games again, isn't it? Because we want to go every distance
off the
and
back
every
of a
single
World Cup
competition.
year.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Nick. Yeah, exactly. We're going to have to rotate.
For me, if you're telling me that sort of player, that's either a Wharton or an Anderson for me. That is who I would target.
Yeah.
They're the 2 that I would be looking at because both of them would limit the drop off in that midfield. You would say they would want first team football, but there should be enough first team football between the 3 of them with 2 positions.
Yeah. Exactly. With Livramento, if Livramento was the player, would you class him as a first teamer? Because I personally wouldn't. I'd say he's a squad. Exactly.
I would say squad. I would say
rotation.
Squad. Yeah, rotation.
Yeah. So are you going to be happy with that kind of player coming in?
Yeah, I would be. I would be with Livramento, depending on his injury, because he has been injury prone.
Yeah, he has.
I do worry about the injuries with Livramento, and I also worry about what price tag I want for him.
There is that.
I think that the talking price in the media is 60 million, isn't it?
Yeah.
Blimey.
So I'm just going to quickly look up, see how much he's actually worth market value, see if that is his actual.
And that's crazy because you've got. Do you realise that for goals in the Champions League this year, Martinelli is in like the top 6-7 wingers in the world. In the Champions League, and we're not going to get 60 million for him.
Well, it's not so we won't try and get 60 million for him.
Yeah.
When I was talking about prices the other day, that's market values.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's what you. Well, don't forget we all have rules about how much we can underpay and overpay for certain players, because otherwise you're breaking financial rules, which fans don't know about. But there is a certain amount maximum you can pay for someone, and the low amount as well. So that's why market values for me are important. So we're looking at Livramento's. His market value is 50 million. So to say that Newcastle would demand 60 million quid, I'll be honest, isn't bad because English tax, and also Premier League tax because you're buying from a Premier League team. So it's not that bad.
You say 60 million, Bobby, but that is offset by what we could possibly get for Ben White.
I was going to say, what's Ben White worth then?
Was it, what did I say, 40 million?
Yeah, 40, 45.
I'll find the list again.
Mento's worth 60 and Ben White's only worth 40. Okay. I mean, obviously there's a valuation process that takes age, injuries, blah, 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 blah. But I mean,
you said Ben White is easily retained at these 50, wouldn't you?
Last season, Ben White was, if Livramento 60, then Ben White was worth 80 million last season.
Okay. Also, a huge difference is the age gap. There's a 5-year age.
I understand that. Okay, so let's knock off 5 million for that. So it's still worth 75 million. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't get it. It's like, it just seems like Arsenal players are just worth nothing. Well, let's just hope that they win something this season and then they're worth fortunes.
Well, that will help us a lot. If we were to win something, it will help us out getting a little bit more money out of some of these players. But I think with Ben, he's only played 7 Premier League games this season. That's not going to help him. As I said, playing helps the market value. I reckon if he played 30 odd games this season, he'll be worth way more than what he is now. But it is what it is, and he's not utilised enough, and that comes down to a certain person. So, he the last time he played over 50 games was 2023-24 season.
Blimey.
Last season, he only played 26 games, the whole season.
I guess you've got to take all that into account. So I
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that, but I don't know. I just in the past, I think it's because our players haven't. I mean, we've had some real dross over the years, haven't we? And I don't mean horribly, but we have. But also, I think we haven't sold them when they are at the optimum place to sell them. Like Ozil, before we renewed his contract, we should have said to him, "Sorry, mate, we're selling you. How much are you getting for him? 50 million, 60 million quid for him." That's why getting to Erdegaard, thank you, mate. Really appreciate it. You can go on and be a worldie somewhere, and I'm sure he would be in the right system. But let's get rid of him. Let's sell him for 70 million, 80 million. Let's get rid of him. But Berta's in place now, so let's give him the summer and let's see what he comes back with.
Exactly. Quickly talk about Livramento. Last season, Livramento played 45 games, which was nearly 20 more games than Ben last season.
Yep.
And this season, he's played more games than Ben. So I'm not that concerned about the injuries. It is of a concern, especially when it comes to us. You just seem to get injuries from nowhere. But if we're utilising well enough, we should be okay. Because he is an extreme
At least he's a
talent,
natural
Livramento.
fullback.
Exactly, that for me.
Centre-back. And I think that does different for the natural rhythm of the body. I think that's very important as well.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm okay about that situation personally. Let's quickly go into the comments before I get lost where I'm going. Steve Ball did wear the number 10 shirt at Anfield 89. I hope the midfield we sign are Buwadi and Camavinga. Calafua is like a wild horse just galloping around. Do Newcastle need to sell due to FFP? Regarding UEFA, hell yes. UEFA are not happy. They have sent a very strong letter to all their owners. For people that don't know, Newcastle or St James has been sold to one of their other companies, very much like Newcastle, and have gained PSR from it, but not for UEFA, because UEFA don't accept that, very much like they did with Chelsea. They don't buy that. I personally don't buy it either. I don't agree with it, but unfortunately we need to change that law in the Premier League. We haven't changed that law yet. We need to change it quickly. But UEFA still have that same rule. You can't sell something to yourselves, basically.
So you can't sell your women's team to...
Yes, exactly. You can't do that.
But Premier League you can.
Yes, only because we haven't tied up that loophole, because we're stupid. But we do need to change that. So UEFA... with PSR with Newcastle, yes, they're going to have to change it. They're going to have to sell. I expect Newcastle to sell at least 4 or 5 of their big players this season. They will replace them, obviously. Just don't worry, Newcastle fans. They will replace these players, but there'll be a lot less because they need to make good profit. So Tonali for me is going to another club. I'm sorry, but I've never mentioned Tonali in to get excited about Tonali, because from everything I've been following and everything that I watch on my system, Tonali was never that close to us anyway. I know that they'll put it in the media. Arsenal lost out to Man United. No, we didn't. Man United have just worked really hard.
Do you know who said that, Bobby?
Who said that?
Who actually backed exactly what you said was actually Fabrizio Stinkeramo. Actually turned around and said Arsenal were never close to him in January. It was all nonsense. Yes, they admired the player, but that nothing ever came more than that.
Yeah.
More likely, that was a key negotiation for upping the wages at United.
Yeah.
Let's just leak Arsenal a little bit, and then
mate,
honestly,
Man United are going to be scary next season.
They are.
Yeah, they're going to have a really good window.
If they put Tonali in that midfield.
6 and 8 said that to annoy Bobby, says Chris. Is this midfield you're talking about Anderson and Tonali? No. Anderson's one of the ones that we're talking about, yeah. So do get a little bit excited about Anderson, because not everything is what you think. when it comes to City, when it comes to transfers, because they are in panic mode.
Have we taken advantage of their demise?
Please say it's true. There is something happening at City, and look, there has been no decision. There has been nothing regarding that.
Yeah.
But I do think, because look, at the end of the day, we all speak to our own lawyers regarding the whole situation, and FA have their own lawyers, Premier League have their own lawyers. We've all been discussing the whole situation, how we think it will go now, and they've done exactly the same. I think they're in panic mode now, personally, because I think that they know they're in big trouble. So that does, because what they can't do, obviously, is this summer go out and spend 100 million quid if they are to get relegated. If they are, I did say if. Okay, everyone did hear if, but they're not going to be able to do that. They'll have to try and find a different way of still being competitive. Look, they'll still have a good squad. Don't get me wrong. But they can't do what they think they can do, because they're still going to have PSR issues.
Can I ask a question, please? Because we talk about City squad. If the big if this happens, there is no way that they can keep Haaland on what he's earning. There's no way that they can keep Semenyo on what he's earning. Give me Nico O'Reilly as well. I'll take him as a backup as well.
This makes sense why we're hearing the Haaland rumours with Madrid and Barcelona.
Oh, mate, take Haaland away.
Haaland was never going to be staying. Look, even if this wasn't happening with City, the whole situation with him, Haaland was always going to La Liga. He was always going to go. I'm not shocked. I personally think a front line of Mbappe and Haaland could happen. I don't think he'll go to Barcelona personally. I just don't think they've got the money to do that. Real Madrid do have the money to do it. Yeah, Real Madrid do have the money. I don't think Barcelona have got the money to do that.
Tell you what, though, Bobby,
they've got other things to worry about.
Let that happen and give me Vinny. Give me Vinicius Jr. I'd take him. I know people are like, mate, that guy can turn games on its head, literally, with one action.
Kvaratskhelia, personally.
Oh, mate, no, give me Vinny, mate. Give me Vinny. I'll take him.
Oh, Japan have just scored, by the way.
Just scored.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I'm not watching the game, by the way. It's literally because I get all the notifications on my phone.
It's a friendly.
I just saw it now.
Who scored it? Because that hasn't come up yet. Oh, Matoma. Yeah, Matoma.
Yeah, of course it would be. Yeah.
Of course it would be. Yeah. So yeah, with City they've got a lot. I think Nico Riley. I know you've mentioned him. That there's no way he'll go. He's City through and through.
Yeah, he is.
I love that about him. To be fair, I do think he'll stay. Bernardo Silva's obviously leaving.
Would Semenyo, if they got relegated?
I think because I'll be honest, because Semenyo came up the league, and don't forget he
okay
6 years ago. Wasn't he playing League One? I know he's definitely in Championship.
He was with Bristol City.
Yeah, there you go. He'll happily do that again.
It's a shame he didn't wait for the summer, though, isn't it?
In my opinion, that made him. I think being in those lower leagues helped him become a better player.
And he knows these at City are coming straight. If they did, they'd go straight
back up. Oh, of course they're
back
coming back up. Yeah, I wouldn't even bother putting money on it because you're not going to get anything back. It's pointless bet. Because they're definitely coming back up, 100%. But it would just be.
Does Pep leave? Bobby?
Yes.
In my opinion, this is my opinion. Pep has already gone. He's already decided he's going at the end of the season, and I think this also pans into the panic mode because Bernardo Silva's leaving. Who else has announced they're leaving Man City? Someone else as well. But yeah, Pep's gone. Pep won't be here next season. Guarantee it. That's my personal opinion. There's so much I'm seeing at the moment. I'm like, yeah, Pep's not there. Good evening, says Izzy. Izzy Anderson. Anderson is one of the players we've looked at.
I'd love to get him.
Luke has already mentioned Wharton. Don't forget, there was 18 months ago, Wharton was high on our list. He still is high on our list. We wanted him from Blackburn. Crystal Palace came in because don't forget we wanted to get him in the summer, but Crystal Palace went in the winter window and got him before us because we would have signed him in the summer as a kind of a Lokonga type signing where we just give him a few minutes here and there and hopefully he progresses, which he would have done. But Yeah. So Wharton's still there, so I'm not concerned by that.
Like
Why no
most-
one got it?
Because they in the way they play, future-proof Declan, and there's enough of an age gap there, but also they future-proof if Zubi, a couple of seasons down the line, wants to go back to Spain. So that's why I like.
Yeah, for me, Zubimendi's destined for Real Madrid at some point. I don't think it'll be this summer. It wouldn't shock me if it was the following summer. That's just me. That's my personal opinion. Chris saying, why has no one gone in for Robinson? You know what? Robinson was an interesting one. If you remember a couple of seasons ago, Bayern Munich nearly got him, didn't they? I think it was for like £1 million. It wasn't even much money. But they pulled out at the last minute. They weren't convinced. I don't know why anyone doesn't go for him, because I think he's absolutely outstanding. And
we're talking about Fulham's Robinson, aren't we?
Yeah, Anthony Robinson, the American lad.
Good player. Good player.
I don't know. I'll be honest. If you give him enough money, I'm sure they'll sell him. I think he's quality, personally.
Yeah, same.
I see Ben White suiting Everton. Ben White will 100% leave this summer. Guarantee it.
You would suit I agree.
Keane has put Italy 1-0 up in Bosnia. Is that Moses Keane, is it?
Probably.
Ozil left because he had no playing. Had no playing on game console in his contract. Charles asking about Tresoldi. What about him? Is he higher on the Bertie? Oh, has that been leaked? Is it the Tresoldi stuff?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot going around.
Right. Tresoldi is someone. If anyone remembers my preview against Club Bruges, he was one of my 5 to watch. He's okay. He's all right. He's a young talent. He's got a lot to learn. So that tells you how, if we were to sign him, how important he is going to be for us. He's going to be a third choice, and we're going to train him up, and hopefully he becomes a good player. But that let me have a guess, because obviously I don't know what's been said on the timelines regarding this. Have they put, is it Alvarez or Tresoldi at any point?
No. That is so. I mean, that is real dumb if people are, because they are at different stages of their career.
That's all right.
One is for now to push us forward. The other one is for the future, and that is just like
Tresoldi would cost.
Correlate that.
Tresoldi would cost 25 million max, in my opinion. That's nothing. I know it sounds a lot to some people, but in football terms, it's pretty much nothing for a 21-year-old.
Oh, Bobby, what's Alvarez costing us?
Alvarez will leave Atletico Madrid, in my opinion, for around £100 million.
Pounds
it's
or
not
euros?
I only do pounds, mate. I'm not in Europe.
So I wasn't trying to trip you up then.
No, but it's because a lot of people are like, they paid like whatever it was. I know some people have said that they paid Man City 95 million quid for him. They didn't. That was about 80 million they paid Man City.
80 million, wasn't it?
And he's been there a couple of seasons, so obviously his value has now dropped 'cause he's getting older. So around 100 million is what I expect Alvarez to leave for. And it's. I'm assuming, I don't know that it's gone on the timeline. Martinelli and Jesus have been linked with them now?
Away?
No, not particularly, but I'd imagine so.
Jesus has been linked with them.
Yeah, because I know Jesus' path now. I've been told Jesus' path. So I'll let Nick talk, and then I'll talk about Jesus' path.
I was just going to ask, what would you estimate our left wing spend to be?
Nick, 100 million.
Dudley, keep it straight face. What are you doing? Just blow me like that. Oh my gosh!
Oh mate, that was
Dudley,
quality.
composure.
That was quality.
Right.
Thank
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if we broke our.
He's got a high.
Yes, in my opinion, we will spend big on 2 players, midfielder and forward. In my opinion.
Is that outside of, like, if Alvarez was that would be, because he would not be that left wing spend, would he? So it would be a more conservative spend on left wing.
In my opinion, if oh, bugger me,
Mate, Nick, you are good.
Bobby, you can't. Yeah. He's like, where's the eject button?
No, I'm trying to find a way that won't panic people. Look,
Oh, sorry. Right.
our left winger will be very, very, very good. But don't be surprised if another one comes in as well. For a reason that you'll understand eventually.
Okay.
Yeah, but in my opinion, we spend on two big players, close to 100 million quid. It wouldn't shock me if, when people add all the add-ons on, they'll go, "Oh, we've broken a new record." It wouldn't shock me that we break the record.
Because Bobby, the way I'm seeing things, and
Yeah.
the way, and bearing in mind, obviously, this is just pure guesswork. You know, the way I'm seeing things is Martinelli, Trossard, Jesus. You know, Erdegaard. I mean, I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing a lot of big names going out, and you
Yeah.
did say that. You did say be prepared this season.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'm sitting there going, okay, if Alvarez was to be one of the people coming in, if
Yeah.
And Anderson, and Livramento,
but what I'm sitting there and I'm saying, we surely are going to have to change these blockbuster players of ours for blockbuster signings. That's going to be a lot of money to spend.
Yeah.
And I know it doesn't necessarily translate to big sums of money, because you could get very good players for under 100 million, and I know that. But I'm sitting there saying, if Alvarez was to be one of them, and we're saying 100 million quid, I'm saying, well, bloody hell. I mean, okay, so that's Jesus taken care of, and I know he can play across the front line. But then I'm saying, okay, well, we're still going to go for a top class left winger, and then we may have to bring a younger one in because both Trossard and Martinelli are leaving. That's big money we're going to spend. Big money.
Oh yeah. I will be quite shocked if what our spend is less than 300 million this summer. I'll be shocked.
Wow.
The reason I'm not going to say too much about the left winger is because I will probably I don't know, I'm trying to work out a way I can say this. Right. So let's just talk about Alvarez as a player. Let's not talk about Arsenal. Let's not talk about where he could go. Yeah. Alvarez is not just a striker. I don't think people quite understand Alvarez's position. It's very much like Livramento. It's just everyone's talking about as a right back.
Yeah.
He actually is not a right back. He's a left back.
So he would be more of a Trossard replacement.
Who's that? Alvarez?
Yes. If we was to use it, because that left wing central, because I always want to see Trossard more centrally again, but we've been using him on the left.
Yeah.
I mean, I see Alvarez as almost a number 10, if I'm honest.
Well, he can play across the front line.
The way he plays for Atletico Madrid, he's almost like a number 10, dropping in.
Yeah. With Alvarez, he can play on both wings very comfortably. And I've seen him on the left wing, and he looks very, very good on the left wing. Looks very good on the right wing. He is a forward that I enjoy watching. He actually excites me.
Yeah.
And that's no offence to some of our players, but I'll be honest, Saka's not impressed me for quite a while.
I agree.
Madueke is great going forward, but then all of a sudden you go, where's the ball gone? Where's the ball gone? Oh, out the stadium. Okay, cool. But he's fun to watch, like with the ball. It's just not fun to watch the end. But
it's like a terrible movie. I enjoy watching it. I get to the end and I want to turn it off.
Yeah, Last Christmas comes to mind for my partner with that. It was a great movie until the end. But no, it's it wouldn't look. I'm trying to hold back saying too much about how I get excited for the summer, right? But in my opinion, for definite right now, we are going to spend close to 200 million on just two players. That's just those two players. And then we've still got lots of other bits to do. So, a new fullback, possibly a young centre back, possibly a goalkeeper. So yeah, exactly. That's why I'm saying I'll be shocked if we're not over the 300 million at least with spend. But in my opinion, if we sell 250 million pounds of product,
100
I'm making it sound like a blooming supermarket now. Sorry.
I get it.
That means then do 350 spend.
Yeah.
We could. Em's literally just messaged me awful movie because she obviously heard me say last Christmas and F you, which is lovely. Thank you, Em. But it was a good movie until that last moment when we realised that the guy didn't exist. But never mind.
Yeah.
Everyone know what I'm on about. It's a very good movie until right at the end, and you
I
find
have a
out
wife
it's the
that likes to
donor.
watch those sort of films too. You know, she's like, yeah.
She was so. Em was so annoyed. Em's just saying horrible movie. It was really good until the end. Well, I enjoyed it anyway. So yeah, so I'm just going to stick with two definitely £100 million ish players. So it could be like 90 million. So don't go. Oh, they've only spent 80 million.
Yeah,
Jeez, come on. There's a thing called negotiating, people.
And with regards to those two players, are they the
Yes.
players that are looking at locked in?
One is locked in. The other one is currently a squad player who will come in and probably play around 15 to 20 games a season because that's all he could possibly do, which probably gives you away his age a bit. But he would give me excitement because I personally like him.
Bobby,
Yeah.
can
Even though he plays for the rival of the club you love.
No.
Ah.
Did anyone believe me on that one? Anyway,
I had a question on
Yes,
the
Neil.
locked in. Is the forward locked in? Or
there
is
is
it
a forward locked in. There is a forward locked in, yes. And he
And
is a first teamer.
A potential free agent, I take it.
No.
With as in the forward.
No, as in the other.
Oh, the squad rope. Yeah, we have someone locked in that is a free agent. Yeah, but the forward, the other one that's locked in is a forward that is a first teamer. He will come in
and currently plays in Europe, I'm guessing.
Plays on
Well,
the
in all fairness,
Well,
I
yeah.
will say yes to that because there's no one in
UK
South
was
American that
boring.
I'd be that excited by it, to be honest. So I'll say yes to that one. Is that £100 million midfielder in the Premier League? Good try, Michael. I'm not going to comment. Can I ask, Bobby, will Liverpool spend the same amount as last season? Not saying the same amount, near to that.
Depends on Champions League, I'd imagine, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, mate.
I think they're
450
kind of, I think they're kind of going. They're going to make the Champions League with the way that their planning is at the moment. I'll be surprised if they don't make the Champions League. Personally, I'm trying to work it out in my head, Chris, very quickly. Elise, if you were to get Elise out,
450 million.
if you were to get Elise out, that's going to be a huge transfer fee.
Please give me Elise.
We're not going to get Elise, mate. I can guarantee you. We'd be mad to spend that kind of money on one player because that would
agree.
then have a knock-on effect on everything else. Liverpool are that mad because they have to replace Salah with outstanding kind of signing.
I mean, can you imagine though if Isak regains fitness and regains his
He will do.
levels?
They've got a
With
three-pronged
him-
attack
with him-
with him
with
and
him,
Isak.
Elise,
Sorry, with Ekatike.
Ekatike, Elise, and
Rogers and Verts behind them.
oh
My gosh, that's disgustingly good.
Yeah,
and then Man
But,
United they're looking as well. Oh my god!
I'd say Liverpool, from my early understanding, 350 plus. So they could creep up to 400. It depends how many else go out of Liverpool as well. There is a couple of players that they possibly could sell that are valuable. So yeah, Liverpool could get to the 400 mark.
See, I thought it was
quite
their
easily.
defence, Bobby, that they were going to be going big on because
I
they've
think
got
they
Van
have to,
Dijk
mate.
and Canate to replace.
They will sign at least one defender. In my opinion, two. They'll sign two. In my opinion, but they're definitely going to get one. They could go two. I've said this to Chris before about their midfield. They've got scouting reports done on midfielders, but they're not really making any moves, which I find a little bit weird. Because they are concentrating on obviously the Salah announcement. They need to replace something big for that. And I'll be honest, it is down to PR, which I personally don't agree with. It should be about the club and the team, but they're more worrying about the PR situation. So it's going to be a big name, and it's going to be something that shocks the news and the press, and there'll be a big story about it, and it will take ages to sign him, I'm sure, because they'll make millions out of it.
Yeah.
Michael saying I would like Belieber. I'll be surprised if he stays at Brighton next season. There were some clubs really heavily interested in him. They've all kind of fell away. I don't understand why, but I still think Belieber will leave. I was 100% sure he would stay in the Premier League. I'm not so sure about that now.
Okay. I thought he was going to go to United.
Yeah, it's looking unlikely that he stays in the Premier League now.
I was trying to work out what City were going to do with replacing Rodri. I was like, what? And Belieber would be a decent acquisition. He's not a Rodri replacement, don't get me wrong. But you're going to need another as well. But
if they get dropped out of the Premier League this season, if they get relegated, mate, they're not going to be buying players like that.
That's true.
Yeah, true. Charles, will we stop at a Chelsea tea party again? Their centre-back midfield profiles are fair, to be honest.
I'll take Hato.
Do you know what
I couldn't rule out a Chelsea signing this summer.
Caicedo.
There are two players that we are very keen on, and it wouldn't shock me if we make a move for one of them. Wouldn't shock me at all. But there's not enough to say that it's definitely going to happen. But it wouldn't shock me if we did it. It does depend on if we pull the trigger on this forward that we've got in right now, but I do expect him to be triggered personally. Give me Gay, all is forgiven, says Chris. Vinny has awful attitude, but big moment player. His attitude has not helped him with a move to anywhere else other than Real Madrid, to be fair.
Vinny in the dressing room.
Oh, Arteta, he's a anti-Arteta type player. He would no. Arteta would go, hell no. Even if it was offered to us for £1, I'm sure Arteta would still say no. Because look, in all fairness, fantastic player. He does have an attitude problem.
He wouldn't work in our dressing room.
God, no, Jesus. Winnie the dog would be in all sorts of kind of costumes by the end of the week. I can guarantee you that. Would it be an upgrade on Trossard and Martinelli? And that's an understatement. Oh, 100%. Look, I'm not knocking the player at all. And if we had a different kind of manager, I'd probably go. But I do have to, when I say any of this stuff, I do have to bear in mind Arteta is the coach. As much as I don't like him, I will state this all day long. I don't care if he wins us stuff. I don't like the guy. But knowing who he is, and I do kind of agree with it to a degree about certain individuals not being in that dressing room. Vinny under Arteta would not work at all. No. It would cause an absolute problem. Under a different kind of manager at the club, maybe you're right. You could probably manage it, but it kind of tells you Arteta's management style. He doesn't.
He's not a big personality manager, is he? Let's face it.
No, he's not.
He proved that. He proved with that with Aubameyang. He proved it with Ozil.
Yeah.
Lacazette. He proved it with all those players that he can't manage those type of players, and that's fair. That he wants his dressing room to be different, and that's fair. It's because he wants everything the way he wants it, and he wants to be the centre of attention. And that's fair. I don't really care as long as he wins us things and plays better football next season. But again, what about I'm going to ask about another player, Bobby, because it has been coming up in the early comments. Is what about Morgan Rogers?
I think he's going to Liverpool, isn't he?
I personally think he will go to Liverpool.
Wow. What a signing, man. Wow.
I personally would love him.
Verts and Rogers. Oh.
Yeah, I personally would love Rogers. We have shown interest in Rogers, but I do think the likelihood is he'll go to Liverpool. I don't know enough about him. Like, I don't know if what desire he has. Does he want to go to Liverpool? I don't know. But I do think Liverpool will get him.
Can we have a conversation about Liverpool dropping points or PSR or anything like? Of that? No, okay.
Not really.
That's a shame.
No, I do think that the Salah situation is definitely going to hurt him. PSR. But I'm sure they'll find a way of covering it by selling
Sorry,
players
Chris,
and
by the way.
spending in a different manner. But I still think they'll still have a big summer anyway. My dream left winger would be Cavadonna. I'm guessing that's Sheila, for anyone that knows me.
Same here.
I'm sorry, but as much as I don't like the twat, Romano's spot on. Currently, not going to happen. I wish this was never released, because I'm sure fans got very excited about hearing the name once it got released. I personally would have just kept stum about it, because I don't see PSG selling him.
I get the following season, but I don't see it next season.
No, it's just too early.
Yeah,
Big clubs like PSG don't like a massive turnaround. And as far as I know, there's a couple that are leaving. So maybe next summer, maybe. Who knows? But not
we have
right now.
Pedro.
Not if we're spending, not if we're recruiting this year. I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah. That's another talking point I wanted to do. There was talk that Edu turned him down when he was playing in Russia. Right. This is totally false. So when we scouted him, it was a scout report that was negative. So that basically means it's a bad scout report, as in avoid the player. So we were out there, and I know that guy because he's now working in Eredivisie. The scout that actually done it is the head of recruitment or something at a club in Eredivisie. I can't remember his name. Now, his scout report, I've seen it, was it was a bad game, and there was something that was happening in the crowd. And it was two players we were looking at. I can't remember the other guy. I think he still plays in Russia as far as I know. But Sheila, his report had a bad attitude once he was distracted. Well, in all fairness, I have watched the game that we scouted him on. And I'll be honest, his attitude did stink in that game. But obviously he's turned that around. And that's the thing. If you get one bad scout report, that player's not going to be signed. And this is
crazy.
And to blame Edu solely on that is wrong, because if you're going to get a negative scout report that comes back, you can go, okay, well, we'll ignore him then, because you're not going to doubt your scout for a start. And the scout was very good, by the way. He's a very good scout. But I think it was one of those rare occasions where you just go and scout a player and they just have a stinker, even though they're a quality player. But you go to the scout on that one game and they go, "Oh my god, what was I sent here for? Like, what is this play? This player's awful." No, and that's it. That dream's done. And don't bear in mind this was the Russian league, I think, at the time. I think it was Ruben Kazan or something like that. Yeah, he did have a stinker, and his attitude did stink. His passing was off. He didn't look like the player he does now. That's for certain. He looked nothing like it. He looked more like Glenn Helder than anyone else.
Oh gosh. Right.
Honestly, he looked awful. I wouldn't have thought that was the same player personally. I did literally have to zoom in on the video to make sure it was actually the same player, because I was like, that can't be him. This guy sucks. But it actually was him. But that's just the way. You have one bad game, and obviously scouts don't always go like 10 plus games. I think if he had a decent game that one game, the scout would have gone back to game 2, game 3. But it just seemed to be that one odd occasion where he had an absolute stinker of a game. The scout went, no. And even the other player we didn't even look into either. And in all fairness, that guy didn't amount to much either. So, but Sheila obviously did amount to something. But it's not Edu's fault. Edu gets a bad scout report. Of course, he's not going to move on with it. He's not going to go, oh yeah, but I've heard this. No, he's going to listen to the scout, because that's who you trust. You trust your scouts, and then we move on. So it's not Edu's fault. I'm personally with him on that, because I wouldn't have signed him after seeing that game either. So Menu played. Oh, did he? Oh, I knew Chris would know. Yeah, I had a feeling he played for other than Bristol City. But yeah, he was a very good, and that's what, in my opinion, that's helped him become this player that he is now. Moresco going to City, says Chris, wouldn't shock me in the slightest. Bouadi, still going to be a storyline. I guarantee you.
Oh, please.
Sit back and enjoy with some popcorn with Bouadi. The Bouadi, just because he's not being mentioned, doesn't mean nothing's happening. And Bouadi is not £100 million signing, but that's a good thing.
Yeah,
that's a good thing, people.
Bobby, just a question for you though. What look, we know we're interested, and we were interested in January as well in Goretzka.
Yes.
You know, your take on Goretzka. I mean, I think again, and I say this with, you know, the fact that he'd probably only be able to play 20 games this season. You know,
You do realise I can see your winks, mate.
yeah, I know.
Just because you can't see me, don't mean I can't see you.
I did do it that you could see me. But you know, what's your honest opinion on him? You know, as a rotational player, you know,
Personally, if we were to sign Goretzka, I'll be delighted. Everyone knows that I'm part German and I have a big love for the German team. And Goretzka is someone, as much as I hate the fact that he plays for Bayern Munich, he's a quality player. And I think he would be brilliant.
And I've heard
no offence to Norgard, but a massive upgrade just on Norgard alone.
But, I mean,
personally.
I've heard that he wants to come to us too. And I'm,
Have you?
I've heard via certain people from X and stuff like that. And people that I know have said that he actually wants to come to us as well.
Yeah, we tried to get him in January. We tried to pay some money, but he weren't willing to go at that time. But he will make it as his decision. Don't forget, when it comes to free agents, it's the power is in the players' hands. They can announce any time they want who they're signing for in the summer. So the power's in Goretzka's hands now. So yeah. Just because I'm talking about other midfielders like a £100 million signing doesn't mean no to Boadi. Boadi is young, and we would, you know, we wouldn't spend more than 40 million quid on the lad. And don't forget, we have got two midfielders. They're called Zubimendi and Rice. They both will need replacements at some point.
Yep. And
it kind of makes sense. So don't rule that out.
If we manage to land Anderson and Boadi as a future proof in it, that would be.
And Goretzka for backup
cover.
now.
Yeah.
I'd be happy with that.
You know, because if you think about it, right? What we need right now is an actual midfielder right now.
Yeah.
If Marino was to leave, Norgard was to leave, then we need three midfielders.
Yeah.
Does that make
sense?
what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, Odegaard is a whole different situation, which we'll see how it progresses in the next few months. I do think we'll see him back on the pitch soon. I'm not sure if Southampton's going to be quite the right timing, but we'll see. But there is interest in Odegaard. So if Odegaard was to leave, that opens up another opportunity. Or does it open up an opportunity for another forward? Because if you look at it, we would already have 2 10s.
Yeah.
Because we have Havertz and Eze.
Havertz and Eze. Yeah.
And then we can go for another forward, which means, you know, whoever, maybe. We would be opening up an opportunity for someone else. So it all depends. And look, everyone can say what the hell they like on X about what we're targeting. What we don't know, and still don't know right now, who else could leave.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to be sitting down right now and discussing what they're going to plan on in the summer. Because guess what? We're concentrating on this season. Until this season's done, we're not going to be... Exactly, because what's the worst thing you can do whilst you're trying to win the league? Oh, yeah, by the way, at the end of the summer, I'm going to be leaving. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's really going to help us.
Yeah.
So we still don't know everybody that's leaving at this moment. Odegaard might want to say, you know, I do need to move on. I personally think he will, because I just don't think he has the right
tool set.
I just don't think he's right with us at the moment, personally.
If he leaves, Bobby, and I mean, I know, and I'm sorry, and I've actually been really vocal about this. I don't believe that Saka is a captain, is captain material. And I actually personally think, because recently he has been playing as the captain, I actually think it's been playing too heavy on his shoulders, and I think that has some the guy's tired and needs a break, but I think that's some of the reason why I don't think he's been as expansive and as good as he has been. Is I think that armband's weighed him down massively. Do they then get to the end of the season and go, right, put names in a hat? It's got to be done.
Leadership group. I'd like to think so.
I think the decision will be made at the end of the season to move the captain armband to
Anyways,
someone else.
even if he stays.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I know that there has been some chat between some players at the club, between themselves, which is fine. It's not horrible chat, by the way. It's not like, oh, you're twat. It's I think that they know that there's something needs to change in that kind of situation, and I do think the decision will be made at the end of the summer.
Because I think it's very hard for Saka also when you're not on form and he knows that he's not, to be able to ball out or call out another player for not doing what they need to be doing.
Yeah.
I think that's very hard. That's why I think it's an error for him to have the armband at the moment, because that captain needs to either lead with the performance or be a leader of men.
Yeah.
And I think it's very hard to call out other people when you know you're not. It's a bit imposter syndrome, isn't it? It's like that's why I feel like it's a bit of the wrong thing right now for him.
Yeah. No,
I agree, and I think you look at someone like Declan Rice, who I've been again really vocal this season. I think he's such an integral part of our team. Also, the way he throws himself about, the way he does not stop running. He's that guy that I want everyone to look at and go, we need to be like him. We need to be running around like him. We need to be putting it on the line.
He's the captain without the armband on the pitch, isn't he?
Yeah. Right, Luke's been saying in that case, get rid of Diet Pep and have the real deal in Pep. I wouldn't want Guardiola here, I'll be honest. Lee, if you think I don't like Arteta, you don't know how much I don't like Guardiola. Leave Man City with Pep Linders. We need Dylan back on the shows so Bobby can answer his questions. No, I feel so sorry for him. He looked like he had a mental breakdown last time. Alvarez and Elliot Anderson, Nick and Neil are treating this like PMQs, but Bobby is swatting away these clever questions away. Bobby, what about the Zenit winger Luis Enrique? Yeah, we've scouted him, and obviously I know he's showing us much love, but that's it. I'll move on. Goretzka, for fuck's sake, washed. I think if you want someone that's got some real grit about him, who will definitely be trusted by Arteta to come into that squad and close down a game, because that's what Goretzka is. I think he's brilliant, personally. I love Norgard, don't get me wrong, and I would trust him as well to do exactly the same job. But there is a level between Norgard and Goretzka. Goretzka is levels above Norgard, and I love Norgard, don't get me wrong. I know he could do the job now. But Goretzka is one hell of a player.
He's got to a higher station, hasn't he? Let's face it.
Yeah. So is he asking, is it possible to spend 100 million on the left winger, striker and midfielder making it? I've not mentioned a striker. Has anyone ever said that we're going to spend 100 million pound on a striker?
Keep saying a forward.
Saying a forward. Forward has an open interpretation for you, people. I've never said striker.
Is a 9. Striker is a 9.
But Bobby counts a forward across the forward line and includes a number 10 in that forward line.
So
left,
no.
Right.
We are not spending 100 million pounds on a striker. We are spending 100 million pounds on a forward and one on the midfielder.
Like Alvarez, for instance, guys.
Exactly, that kind of player. He's a forward. I don't class him as a striker. I class him as a forward. Sheila is a forward. Gordon, going to have to mention the name, is a forward.
You put Sheila in there because you know we're not signing him. You chucked that in there, didn't you, Bobby?
No, but the reason I mention it is obviously we've had conversations, and our head of scouting has a lot and very close links with Sheila himself. And if he was to become available, would we make a move? Hell yes. But there is nothing happening with his camp at the moment, because we know full well PSG will not sell him. If Sheila goes to PSG board with a hell of a lot of bouncers and asks the owner to leave and quickly runs out that office, there's a slight chance he might move. But there's also a good chance he may go missing forever if he does do that, because they're very much like Godfather over there. Yeah. But at the moment, I'll be honest, I don't see anything happening, which is why I wish the name was never released, because there's loads of names I've got on my list,
Yeah,
and
it's
there's
just
lots of names I don't mention. Because if I was to mention them, you'd go, "Oh, we're going to sign him." No, it's just someone we've looked
on
at
a list.
and we respect. So, yeah, it's best not saying certain names on sometimes.
No, and Bobby would definitely not say go and get Alvarez on the back of your shirt. You know, that's not Bobby. You got to listen to the shows.
Bobby would never suggest a current player. He would suggest a legend, which is a trait I like.
I do, honestly. At some point I will get. Who have I got? I've got to get Jonny Jensen still on one of my shirts, but I need a nice shirt to get his name on.
See, I'm looking at this new away kit, Bobby. Have you seen what could be the away kit? That Bruce Banana.
I'll be honest.
I'd be tempted to get righty number 8 on that because of the.
You know what it is, mate?
Banana.
I've not even had time to look. And everyone, Geeks, you've known me for many years, so you know how much I love my kits. I've not even looked at the new World Cup kits, mate. That's how far behind I am on looking at just
to be
stuff
fair,
I like for myself.
The England kit looks pretty decent, to be fair.
I don't tend to get the English kits,
I prefer the red one. I prefer the red one than the white one.
Yeah.
I don't like white kits, if I'm honest. I find them boring.
There's something about them.
And they are so easy to ruin. One chocolate ice cream, that's screwed for the rest of your life now. So yeah, I prefer colours on my shirts. Big up to Ali that's been in the show, loving. He's meant to be busy. He's meant to be. Hang on, you've got Jordan to worry about this week. Never mind the show. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. I hope you're doing well. I hope Jordan's doing all right as well. He's got a big fight this weekend. How many potential players incoming are currently in green and amber? We've currently got 2 in green. I would say there's about 10 in amber. Yeah, there's quite a lot in amber, to be fair. But this is a busy time to start negotiating. So if you were to look at the system, there's probably around 10,000 ambers because everyone's talking to everybody at the moment. They already signed Jacquet regarding Liverpool. Yes, they have, but they still need another one. They've got more. Canate, don't forget, is most likely to go, and VVD needs to be covered, so they need another one. Bastoni sent off for Italy, too distracted with moving to Barcelona by the looks of it then. We were interested in Rodgers last summer and after the Elliott situation. That's true. Thanks for keeping us up to date, Bobby. Whether it's us, you lot, or anyone else, Bobby has been 90%. Well, exactly. 99% is something I always believe in. 100%. I don't like anyone that says, 100% guarantee. I can't do that. 99.9 is my number because you never know with football transfers. Anything can happen in that 0.1. Do your research, Neil, on why we get away with it and meet the rules. Regarding Liverpool, that is, in case you didn't know, Neil. Bobby, do you have insight on Max Dowman? Many fans are puzzled and would like to hear how a very Spanish Latin American flair came so naturally to an England boy.
He actually he spent a bit of time in Spain, didn't he? He a couple of football academies in Spain, like summer academies and stuff. When he was growing up, he used to go out there and do summer academies and stuff in Spain when he was growing up. So maybe that could be there.
It's exactly. We've got.
When he's growing up, the guy's like barely. Like, what is he? 16.
He's 16, yeah. We've got lots of training camps. We don't just have one in England. I'm pretty sure, look, a lot of clubs have training camps all over the world. Yeah. They will set up pitch for about a month in Australia. We do some in Japan, China, Brazil, Argentina, Ecuador. Every country you can think of, I guarantee some clubs do a little training camp for about a month. And they kind of use it as a scouting network as well, which people can frown upon that if you wish, that's fine. But I do like that they give kids, some training and play some, in some cases, with some actual proper soccer balls. So yeah, I personally have no issues, and I think Max has embraced this as he's grown up. He's gone to these specific training camps, and that's very much. You think of the Quintero lads that will be joining us soon. They've been exactly the same. They've gone. That's why their technical ability is incredible, because they've gone to training camps. They don't just go and play football now and then. They also go to training camps as well. Luis, what's his name? Luis Munoz, as well. The 14-year-old lad. Watch out for him as well. He's the next one. So yeah, Charles 87. Those people must not have watched the likes of Gaza, Chris Waddle, and John. Oh, Gaza. Yeah, the only non-Arsenal player I've ever had on a shirt is Gaza. I loved him. Absolutely loved Gaza. As much as she was so damn good.
Yeah.
So
Euro
damn good.
96. Euro 96. That goal against Scotland.
Oh,
Do you remember after that sequence
mate.
of plays? Seaman making the penalty save, throwing it out. Was it to McManaman? McManaman onto Gaza, and then roasted Colin Hendry. Was it Colin Hendry?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
what a summer, 1966.
I tell you what, that's
1996. Sorry, no, I'm not that.
I was to say 1966. I wasn't even then.
That's
1996.
That's another player, McManaman. I thought he was such a good player. Such a good player.
Hey, Darren Anderson was actually fit for a tournament. How about that?
Yeah.
I'll sick note himself.
Jesus. Oh my word. Luke saying Max is from the home county of Essex. Big up the Essex, massive by the way. So explains why he's so good. I wouldn't say that too much, Luke, to be fair. I'm from Essex as well. I got to a decent level, but wasn't that good. I don't believe it when Arteta says that the players voted to make Odegaard captain. Arteta often lies. I'm going to move very swiftly on from that one. But Arteta does lie.
10 or,
Arteta does lie a lot. But all fairness, all managers do. Just a certain narrative that comes out of the club, so it's fine that he does it because everyone does it. Maybe you're right, but look at the generation, get the examples you quoted, so it's not natural. Of course, Rodgers is another player to replace Salah. Tell me it's going to be a style to suit certain manager style. I still would put money that Xabi Alonso is your next manager. I've ordered a New England red shirt. I haven't seen. I need to see. I need to look at these World Cup shirts. I need to look at Germany's, to be fair. But yeah, I haven't looked at any new shirts.
I always liked a Germany shirt. I always liked a German World Cup shirt.
Yeah, I've got a really nice red and black one of theirs that I used a couple of seasons ago. I absolutely love it. It's my favourite one for a long time. I can only listen to Bobby on transfer news, even though I can't stand transfers. Bear in Space, good one on X. He got Verts to Liverpool right. If a goalkeeper choice becomes available first or second, for example, Karnaneski, Atalanta's, or Silva, ASO Trafford from City, will Berta be interested, or Setford is trusted to come good? In my opinion, Trafford leaves City this summer. I don't see him staying. It might be a loan, but he, in my opinion, will leave City.
He won't come into us and play second fiddle.
Guarantee Setford is not going to be trusted as number 2 because we are looking at enough goalkeepers to tell me he's not being trusted as number 2. Look, Setford for me takes another 2 or 3 seasons before he can be trusted as a number 2 at least. Can he make a number 1? Possible, if he makes the right decisions with his career.
Do you think he needs a loan, a good quality loan?
He needs, for me, good quality loan where he constantly plays. It helps goalkeepers drastically for me if you send them out on loan. I think if you remember, Jordan Pickford went out on loan. Joe Hart went out on loan. So a lot of the top goalkeepers have been sent out on loan and have continuously played for that club, and you eventually see them play at a high level. That was just 2 that I could think of quickly on the top of my head, was Pickford and Hart. But yeah, 99% is fair because last minute injury and medicals can happen, etc. I'll be honest, also sometimes a club coming in the last hour that outbids can also happen. They were exciting moments, I'll be honest. They're my most exciting moments. Any hints on left winger, Barcola or Diamonde? Diamonde will leave Leipzig, I'll be honest. I couldn't guarantee where he's going. I did think it was going to be Liverpool. It might have changed. There's other clubs available. What else? Barcola. Barcola will leave, I think, PSG. I think that is what he will hold up any chance of Sheila ever leaving.
Right.
Is because I think Barcola leaves. I think there's going to be a lot of turnaround. A lot of dominoes going to be needed this summer where it comes to right backs, left wingers, midfielders. Massive domino effect. You know how sometimes it's just the strikers or sometimes it's just the centre backs. I think this summer, and World Cup's going to cause a big problem with this. I think there's going to be a massive domino effect of different positions this summer.
Yeah, and managers.
Yeah. What's the Wales, Republican Island, Northern Highland scores? Oh wait, my phone was out. My bad. Don't forget to thank you very much, AFC77. France World Cup kit bangs. I don't. I don't do France when it comes to World Cup teams. I'll be honest.
Scary squad they've got.
Scary squad. But I look, as much as I love Henry, and everyone knows I do, they still cheated. They still cheated for me. So yeah, I don't do France.
Love
Sorry.
that.
Sorry, I do love Henri, obviously for obvious reasons, but they still cheated. You're not allowed to wear German shirts according to English media, despite celebrating Jubilees. Well, I'm part German, they're part German, so I don't see a problem. Wales had a parade in 2016 celebrating.
All right, we're still one of their managers as well.
Yeah, cheating don't exist. It bloody well does. Bloody well does, unfortunately. Anyway, guys. The reason I called it Under the Clock is to try and keep it under 2 hours. And first show, we go over 2 hours. Brilliant. Never mind. But I'm still going to call it that.
Bobby, it's a good conversation.
It is. I was hoping this would, the way that we were going to do it, would help us keep it slightly lower. But it hasn't, obviously. Of course it doesn't. But we'll move on. I will be back for definite Friday night for the preview for the Southampton game. I'll be honest, I'm and ahhing about a watch along because it is an 8 o'clock kickoff, and obviously with my health and stuff, I'm not sure if I'm going to feel okay at that time, and it is quite hard. I know it sounds easy just sitting here doing a watch along for 2 hours, but it is a little bit more taxing, especially when you've got to stay awake. And the way that Arsenal play is quite hard at late at night.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I'll think about it. I'll see how I feel. But Neil, thank you very much. Nick, where can they find you, my friend?
You can find me here on the Football Takeover. If you haven't already, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you for having me on again, Bobby. Enjoyed talking to you and Dodsey, both great guys. And thank you for answering all the questions.
No worries, mate. Neil, where can I find you, my friend?
Find me on X. Find me here on the Football Takeover. Love spending time with the boys. Good conversation. Good laugh too. And again, once again, thanks to Bobby for taking time out of his schedule to give us all a little bit of update. I know we sometimes push him a bit hard on questions and try and make him come with the answer, but you're clearly too wise for that, Bobby, as we know. But yeah, thank you for having me on, and looking forward to football coming back.
Yeah, exactly. We will be back, as I said, Friday. G will be doing a match reaction at some point this weekend, so it won't be because he's hiding. If we do get knocked out, it's literally because it's a late night game, Saturday night as well. G's a young man. He might want to go and have parties as well. Don't know what G gets up to. And plus, I think he would have just finished work as well, because I think his last week at school is this week. So it also just broken up. And it is Easter weekend. So there's many reasons, but he might not want to do a 10 o'clock match reaction. If he does, he'll be doing it on Sunday. We'll see what happens with that. Obviously, there's going to be lots of games coming up. Sporting Lisbon preview next week will happen. There won't... there won't be. I don't know. I might do a watch along for that because it is half term, so I'll consider that one. And then we've got loads. We've got loads coming up. There will be no talk shows for a bit. The next transfer show will be, in my opinion, early May, because I don't think it's pointless. It's not worth talking about at the moment because there's so many ifs, muts, and babies.
Yeah.
It is, and as I said, most teams don't set their plan until the end of April anyway. By May, I promise I'll know our plan for the summer, and I'll know probably who's going to be leaving, who won't be leaving. So we'll know more, and it's just pointless talking about it. I know certain people will talk about it on X constantly because that's their job. Nick not praising that the chat.
I was just going to say, Bobby, I'd really like to thank Chris for coming into the comments tonight. It wouldn't be the same without Chris in our comments. So I really appreciate you, Chris. As well as everyone else in the comments. We love you. Sorry we didn't mention it. But
absolutely.
Honestly, guys,
don't feel slighted.
This show is for you guys. So, we enjoy having a chat. But Bobby does come on here, and his main reason is to answer you guys in the chat. So
Yeah,
we
I do try my
appreciate it.
best, which is why I have done it in this way, and hopefully your comments are obviously coming up live in that little chat feed box in the corner. I will obviously go through the questions as I can. I do bring up some of them. I'll try and get out of that Chris needs to behave, seriously. But yeah, but guys, I'm out of here. Take it easy. Enjoy the rest
Take
of your
care.
evening,
Stay happy
and
and
I'll see
healthy.
you Friday. Take it easy. Bye
Take care,
bye.
guys. Bye.
Bye.